Hello there. I'm John Sheehan, account manager with Presidio in Pittsburgh. I'm part of the Pittsburgh Presidio team led by the legendary ex-EMC sales superstar, Jim Slowick. And I'm here today talking to myself into my iPhone so that I can become EMC Extreme IO Gen 4 certified. Now, this Gen 4 certification was a challenge that was thrown out by Brandon Steinmetz. Brandon is the EMC channel partner manager out of Cleveland. And I can tell you that when a guy from Cleveland throws out a challenge to someone from Pittsburgh, such as myself, I really think that I should put on my best hat and try to do my best job with that. So I want to talk to you about a Wikibon article that came out in 2014, and it talked about the evolution of Flash. And in that article, they talked about the importance of Flash as an enabling technology for the rest of this decade and for next decade as well. That it's going to be the foundation for big data applications. It's going to be the foundation for the next gen data center. And that becomes a very important decision for our customers, that they make the right decision for that foundation for their data centers. Just as, let's say you were an NFL franchise, let's pick the Pittsburgh Steelers. And let's say that in 2004 you had an opportunity to draft a quarterback and you chose Ben Roethlisberger. 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Super Bowl wins later. Certainly you made the right choice. If you contrast it with the Cleveland Browns, I think they've had something like 18 starting quarterbacks over that same period of time. So choose wisely, make the right choice, choose EMC Extreme IO. The Wikibon article went on to talk about the evolution of Flash and the 4 generations. The first generation being solid state disk in front of spinning disk. EMC had that technology back in 2008 in front of their VNX and their VMAX storage arrays. Issue with that was that you had to move data in and out of the solid state. Sometimes you had high latencies, and of course you couldn't service all the data, just some of the applications. It was a great technology, solved some business problems, but it really wasn't the end-all be-all. So that's back in 2008. I do believe that was the year the Steelers won their 6th Super Bowl, and along the way, I'm pretty sure they handed the Cleveland Browns a 31-0 thrashing. The next generation was really a hybrid architecture. I think that was Nimble around 2010. Nimble had some Flash technology, and they would kind of trickle down to the back end to the spinning drives. I think Wikibon called that the generation of insignificance, and that became very confusing to me because I thought the generation of insignificance represented the Cleveland Browns quarterback drafts over the past decade or so. You know, you go back, there's like Brady Quinn, Johnny Football Manziel, Colt McCoy, Brandon Whedon, and going back even a little further, dare I say, Tim Couch. Ouch! Then the next generation is really the all-flash with a dual controller architecture. That's kind of pure storage and IBM flash systems. That was known as the generation of compromise. Kind of like, let's say, you're a football franchise and you would be happy just to see your team make the playoffs. Like the Cleveland Browns, let's say, I think the last 2 times they made the playoffs, 2002, 1994. I think they had a total of 3 playoff games. Both times their playoff bid ended by playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Steelers came out victorious, and of course, during that same stretch of time, the Steelers had 13 playoff appearances, I think 28 games, and appeared in 3 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl wins. No compromise there. Then Gen 4, that's the current and the greatest technology by EMC Extreme IO, and that's a full scale out architecture. So that full scale architecture provides high, high consistent not high latency, but consistent latency, so low latency. Allows all the nodes to access all the data. So it's a true no compromise solution. It's the real deal, just like the Steelers are the real deal. So there's some flash wannabes out there. There's the Nimbles, the IBMs, the Pures, and a whole bunch of other bit players out there. Kind of like some inferior football franchises like the Cleveland Browns. And then there's the real deal. There's the Pittsburgh Steelers, much like EMC Extreme IO. So choose wisely, choose EMC Extreme IO. And Brandon, on a serious note, please come down and be my guest for the Browns game, November 15th of this year. Over the years, I've had a lot of my good friends and colleagues from Cleveland. I hope you take this kidding as it was intended, and proud to be an EMC partner. Look forward to working with you. Thanks.